Let's see, if I have, do you have the extra papers, Hartzell? And then there's some packing papers. Let's see. Megan, did you have that? Oh, Trace has those. You can get those. The waivers are going to Nico right here. And then the packing lists. Take the packing lists, that'll be good. We're gonna try and get us out in half an hour so that you can go see the game or watch the game if you so desire. Hi.
You have to leave here at 10 to 12 because I've got an ad campaign running during playoffs.
Oh, you have an ad campaign during playoffs? Wow, that's very good. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and start us. Let's see, I'm a little hot. Oh, why don't I go back up here? Is that much better? Okay. I'm not trying to be distant. I'm trying to make the microphone work better. So, okay. Well, welcome to our meeting today. So if you're here, you have officially signed up and you are on our mission team of 53 people. So give yourselves a hand for that. Let me just say, first off, thank you to all of you for being part of this, for giving your time, your gifts, your skill, and all of these things to make a difference for these three families. Bring me down just a tad, or should I go all the way up here? It's mostly just for the live stream. The mic is about this far. Oh. How about this? Is that better? There we go. Okay. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to go over information you need to know about the trip. I'm going to share about the families that we're going to be serving, and then I will let you ask any questions that you may have, and then if you need to go, you can go as well. So I do want to introduce Nico Quetzi. Nico, can you stand up? Nico is you are the co-captain of our team, or my right-hand man for this. So Nico and I are going to be working together to make sure all of this gets put together. So I'm grateful to him for being willing to do that, and we'll be working together on this. So give Nico a hand for volunteering. All right, so let me start with why we go. Why we go is because we're going to have a great time like that group there. That was from 2 years ago. But the real why we go are these families. And these are the three families that we are going to be building a home for. The first this is the Cruz Navarro family. That is Elba and Kayla and Kylie. Kayla is 9 and Kylie is 5. Elba is a single mom who moved to Ensenada to provide for her daughters. She cleans houses to pay rent and mortgage on her land, but they don't have enough to build a home. So all of these families we're building for, they have purchased land, but in many cases they don't have enough money to build a home on it. So we're going to be providing the home for them. The second family is the Fuentes Segal family. Hector and Alejandra, they have a daughter, Shania, who is 12. Hector is 5, the youngest. And then Christian is 16, and he is Alejandra's brother who lives with them. They both lost, part of their story is that they lost jobs during the pandemic and had been paying rent, but then weren't able to do that. Then they had this piece of land and they built a home on it. It's a little hard to see there, but out of things that they could find, wood and plastic and tarps. And a lot of times when we go to build for these families, we'll be building right next to the home that they have been living in and made out of whatever they could find. So we're going to be providing them a new home with a locking door and windows and a safe place to be. So that'll be for the Fuentes Segal family. And then lastly is the Valderrama family. This is Marco and Cynthia and their son Francisco, who is 4. Marco is a security guard Can I come down just another tad? Yeah, just enough to sweeten my voice. That's about it. He's a security guard. She works at one of the local tourist spots in Ensenada. They own land, but they had been living in a trailer that they had on the land. And it was so cold because there was no heat in it. There was no way for them to keep warm, and their son kept getting sick. So they had to move out of that in with, I believe, his parents. So we're going to be building them a nice, warm, and safe home as well. So these are the 3 families that we'll be serving. It looks like 2 of the houses are close to one another. We don't always build necessarily next to each other. And one of the houses, the Valderrama family, I think they're a little bit north of where we are. So we'll be definitely in 3 separate spots with our work teams. So let's talk about the trip. The trip is February 13th through 17th. So that is Thursday the 13th, and we'll come home on Monday the 17th. 53 of us are going to be traveling down there. We have some folks that are watching at home. This is also going to be recorded, so you can go back and check that out as well. We will meet at the church, and then we're going to carpool down to Ensenada, where we'll be working. So we'll gather here at 10:30 on the 13th. We have 10 folks that have volunteered to drive. We haven't made the car assignments yet because we have to kind of figure that out. Families all go together, and then we figure out where everyone else will go. But we take our cars down there. We'll meet here at 10:30. We'll load up. I am going to ask, as you pack, try to pack as conservatively as possible. I have a truck, but we used to have 2 other trucks that are no longer with us. One of the trucks went with the trailer that it used to tow, right, Grant? I got another truck. Oh, that's right. I saw that in the parking lot, didn't I? Never mind. We got 2 trucks. Pack as much as you want. Just all sorts of stuff. That's right. Oh, you don't know how happy that makes me today that I had forgotten that. So we have 2 trucks. We used to have 3, but we'll have 2. But, pack because your stuff's going to go in the car that you're driving with, and just to try to keep enough room. We're going to talk about what to pack in just a little bit. So we'll carpool down from here. We'll leave at 10:30. Well, actually, sorry, we'll leave at 11 o'clock. We will carpool down in caravans of about 3 people, and we're going down just to right before the border, and we'll stop at a lunch spot at noon. There's plenty of fast food and restaurants there. There's a grocery store. I think there's a Walmart in case you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot this. You can quickly get that. We'll get a fresh tank of gas down there. And then at 12:45, we will depart to cross the border at San Ysidro, which is literally the next off-ramp. So we will then make our way into Mexico. We will go around Tijuana, and we take a toll road, and we'll give you the toll money to pay for the toll road. These are all generally great roads. I say generally. Going around Tijuana, it's a little... It's paved. It's definitely paved, but the roads are safe. The roads are straight. It's a pretty straight shot down there. It's a beautiful drive down the coast, so you'll definitely enjoy that. And it takes about 3.5 to 4 hours for us to get down there. So a total trip. So we should arrive at the Yugo campus at about 3:30 or 4, depending on traffic. So if you are not driving, but you want to leave a car here, you can leave a car in the parking lot. The parking lot is safe. I can't promise 100% safe, but we have cameras, so if anything were broken into, we could at least be able to find out what had happened. But we've never had a problem. People leave their cars. There's people here all week, and over the weekend there's usually weddings here, so that shouldn't be a problem. But if you need to leave a car here, you can do that. Let's see. As we cross the border, generally crossing the border is very easy. It's church. I don't know if I should knock on wood, but In the 3 years that we've done it here with St. Andrews, I've never been pulled over and x-rayed. It used to be in the prior years when I went and my truck bed was full, sometimes the trucks would get pulled over and x-rayed, which is not a big deal. It just takes a little extra time. But that's not happened the last 3 years. I don't think it's happened. No. So hopefully it'll be pretty much a quick shot across the border and we'll be on our way. Coming back is a little bit of a different story, but we'll talk about that later. So if you are, the other thing about the cars is those are the cars that we'll be taking to the work sites with us as well. The work sites are usually about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes away from the campus we stay at. And we'll be breaking those cars down by work teams, but that's how we'll get to the various work sites that we go to. If you are driving, you will need to get insurance. You have to have special Mexico insurance, and the place that we recommend getting it is through AAA. It is not easy to find on the AAA website, so this is the address. It's www.ace.aaa.com/travel, and you'll be able to get to it through there. The insurance for the car, depending on how much coverage you get, tends to be about $125 to $150 to cover for the days. I always tend to get an extra day just in case for some reason. I mean, we've never stayed longer than a day, but I just like to overplan on that kind of stuff. If you would like, we can do one of two things. We can pay for the insurance. If you'd like to be reimbursed, you just send a receipt to us. If you'd like to donate that, you can donate that as well. So, but you definitely have to have insurance in order to go across the border. This worked fine this morning, and now it's falling off my ear. All right. Getting back, returning. So this has become a little trickier over the last few years, not in terms of can you get back across the border or not. That's easy to do. It's about how much time it takes. Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 hours. I've been as long as 5 hours. What was our record last year, Greg? Tries not to think about it. The problem that's happened, it used to be very easy. There was an exit, and if you have my driving instructions, you would get off at this exit, you turned left, and you were right in the line to get off. That is now all under construction, and so it's very difficult, and GPS tends to work generally well, but what we're thinking about doing this year is not going back over the San Ysidro. We're looking at doing the other crossing, which is called Otay Mesa. I took it midway. I took it this year when I went down to play some golf down there and came back. It's pretty straightforward. We cut around Tijuana and go back up, and then you're on pretty much main streets. So one of our sister churches, Shepherd of the Hills, is down there right now, and I'm going to see what their experience coming back was like, and we'll decide from there. So, but you will get back one way or another. I promise that. Everybody has always come back. You do have to have your passport, so please make sure you have your passports with you. That's the most important thing. All right. Any questions on travel? Yes? We have, currently I misspoke earlier. Currently we have 13 cars, which is enough to carry 57 people. So I think we're good on cars. The trick becomes whether I can split those up well enough on the work sites. So if you'd be willing to be a backup driver. Oh, okay. Did you sign up to drive? Okay. Okay, we'll check after. Yeah, thank you. Emily, are you nodding your head that you're going to take notes for me on that? Oh, wonderful. Okay. Any other questions on travel? All right, then let's get to where we stay. So
Just last year when we came back, Peyton and myself, we couldn't get through the border at all. We were chasing each other, you and I.
right.
And we actually just pulled over a cab driver, and Peyton took to us to drive us to the border. So push comes to shove. But
Oh, a cab driver took you? Okay.
that's how we found it. And
Yeah.
we followed him to where he was supposed to go. So it's like
People are pretty helpful. Because we stopped and got some directions too. And I promise you will be able to find your way. The other problem we had, challenge we had, if you have Sentry or the Ready Pass, everybody in your car has to have it in order to go through. So we've arranged with some cars for folks that have it, and then it gets a little confusing getting into those lanes. But when we leave, I will have much clearer directions for you. And like I said, I think we're going to use Otay Mesa this time because it was easier to find. Yeah, global entry is Sentry. Yeah, so if you have global entry or Sentry, and everyone in your car has it. And your car has to be registered for it. And if you go through and you don't have it, you get one stern warning, as one of our cars did last year, but then your license plate goes in the system. So it's a pretty big fine, I think, if you went through again. So, but once we have that information, we'll get that to you. So, yes, question over here. You don't need it. It's Sentry and Global Entry it's the speedy line. It's when you're sitting in the line at San Ysidro and you see all these other cars going by. It's something you have to register for and get background checked for or something. But we can't require that of everyone, so most of our folks don't have it. Yeah, it takes several months to do. And if you do that, frankly, I mean, you don't get the opportunity to purchase a puppy at the border. And what better way than somebody coming and handing you the cutest dog, particularly parents, I'm giving you that heads up so you know you can prep to say no on that. Yeah, I had people check that, so I think we've got a good list on that. Okay, where we stay. So we're going to be staying at the Yugo campus, which is, Yugo is the ministry organization that we work with. They have dorms in Ensenada near Estero Beach. Campus is beautiful, secure, can house over 100 people on it. They provide, separate dorms for men and women. We have some family room availability. This is the kind of courtyard area. They have a cafe that has coffee and candy and t-shirts and things that you can purchase there. They provide all of our meals. And so we'll have breakfast and dinner there. Lunch, they send with us out to the work site. So we have sandwiches and chips and cookies and all sorts of stuff on the work site to eat. Can I get an amen from those that have been here if the food is delicious? Amen. It's very good food. So you will not go hungry for sure. The dorms that we stay in, all of the dorms, they're all configured a little differently, and it depends on how they break us up into rooms. But they all have a full-size twin mattress with a mattress cover on it. So you can bring sheets if you want to go that route. You can also bring a sleeping bag and just put it on top. But you'll have a full mattress to use and have space on. Some of the dorms, tends to be the guys' dorms, have triple bunks on them. So if you really like being high up in the air, the triple bunks are way up there. I see a mom shaking her head no, because usually our young boys like to be up on the highest bunk. It does make the travel down to go to the restroom a lot longer. So what else? There's also foosball, ping pong, other amenities. There are plenty of bathrooms and showers. In fact, they were building more showers when we were there last year, so they may have even more. I'll just mention on showers and toilets, they're all generally separate from one another. They'll tell us this when we get there, but the bathrooms in Mexico, you don't flush toilet paper down. There's a trash can next to it. That's where all the toilet paper goes. It's cleaned out every morning and afternoon, but the plumbing can't handle it down there, so they'll make sure to remind us of that. Water. They have a filtration system, so there is plenty of fresh drinking water. It's why you'll want to have a good water bottle with you. The water that comes from the sink and the showers is not drinkable, so you don't want to brush your teeth with that. If when you're in the shower, you'll know right away it's not really drinkable water. However, I will also say we've never had anybody get sick from the water there, and I have known someone who brushed their teeth in the water, I think last year. Yeah, Nico, and you were fine. So I'm just telling you ahead. There's plenty of signs, but you don't drink the water from the taps. You get it from the filtration system, and that'll all work out. So safety. The campus is locked down at night. So there is a security guard that is there all night long. It's a safe neighborhood. We've never had a problem there, but they do have security, so people cannot get into campus after, I think, 10 o'clock. 9 or 10 o'clock. And like I said, they have a security guard that's there. Your cars, if you drive a car, will be locked in a parking lot with a chain link fence around it. So we've never had a problem with anything there, but they do everything they can to keep us safe. And like I said, it's a very safe neighborhood and safe place where we are. On campus, they have a worship service. They call it chapel. Chapel takes place in the morning before breakfast and in the evening when we get back. The services are about maybe 15, 20 minutes. They usually have a speaker. In the evening, you'll get to see the video of what you did that day. There'll be a special video that's got all of our work and the progress on our house. They have a great band there. The speakers are good, and it's a great time. So chapel takes place in the morning and the evening there. I think that's it for that. Typical day is chapel will usually be, I'm going to say, like 7:45 or 8 maybe. It depends on the groups that are there as to when it all gets scheduled. There's a video screen right as you walk into the campus that will have our particular schedule for St. Andrews. So I would say 7:45 or 8 is chapel, and then we go to breakfast after that. Then we're trying to get in the work trucks and in our work caravans, hopefully by 9 o'clock to head out to the work site. We'll be on the work site till about 3:30 or 4. Then we drive back, and again, a lot of this depends on how far away we are. We drive back. For those that have gone, I know we've got some folks that have gone with Shepherd of the Hills before. We don't go all the way down to El Cerrito. We tend to be in communities that have been closer, which has been nice. It makes that drive time a little quicker coming back. So you get back to campus about 4-ish, 3:30, 4. You can take showers. There's time to relax in the cafe. They do have Wi-Fi there that is pretty good. Where's Alton? Alton even brings a Wi-Fi booster for us. I don't know, do you still have that? So we get our own private St. Andrews Wi-Fi. So, but it's enough that you can do work, although you don't want to do work while you're there. So then dinner is, 5:30 or 6. Chapel will either be before dinner or after dinner, depending on the groups there. We will have a meeting before chapel. We'll have a group debrief at the end of the day. We'll have a meeting room together, and we'll just talk about the day a little bit. And then after dinner, might as well go into this now. One of the traditions that tends to happen, you're not required to, but if you want, there is a wonderful little taco stand. Oh, where'd my taco There it is. Can you go to that again? There's a taco stand down the road. We load into the cars and go down, and these are the most amazing tacos you've ever had for the lowest price you've ever had. Currently, the peso is, I think it's 20 to 1 right now to $1, so $1, 20 pesos. But we go there and hang out in the evening for a bit, and you have second dinner, and you will be amazed that you will have plenty of room to eat a second dinner. So that happens, and but again, it's not required. I'm going to talk about extra money to bring in our what to bring section, but that's where cash is king there. So, all right. Now let's go back to my what to bring. All right. Unfortunately, Allison can't go with us this year because her daughter has a dance recital. But she said, take this picture. Last year, this was when we were leaving, and she had her big suitcase. She said, take this picture and use it next year for how not to pack. Because she said she brought too much stuff. So, but I will go over what you need to bring, and you can decide how that needs to be packed. So the very first thing, we will reiterate this time and time again, is your passport. You absolutely need this to get back into the country. Once we get to Yugo, if you want, you can hold on to your passport, but if you want, we can collect it and they will put it in the safe there at Yugo. And so then you don't have to worry about it all week long. So that's an option for you, and when we get there, I'll say, if you want me to take your passport, give it to me. We put it in a bag, and they put it in the safe. But you definitely want to have your passport. All right. So here's what you need kind of on campus in the dorms. I said a sleeping bag or bedding for a twin mattress, a pillow, chargers for your phones and all devices that you need charged, and then I always recommend an extension cord and a multi-plug outlet is helpful because you can't always tell where the outlets are going to be next to the beds, and you kind of like to have your stuff charging by your bed. So earplugs if snoring is a bother to you, because you may be in a room with people who snore. Not in the women's dorm, of course. That's just the men's dorm, right? But the little foam earplugs work great, and that'll help if that's a thing for you. For those of us that can sleep through anything, that would be me. You can snore away. It's no problem. Toiletries, all the regular toiletries that you'll need. Personal medical items, all your medication. A towel. Sometimes 2 towels is nice. So you sometimes they don't dry all the time overnight, but an extra towel is good to have. But basically anything you need for going away. In terms of clothes, work clothes. I promise whatever work clothes you have will get dirty and paint and stained, and you won't care, but you don't want to bring clothes that you care about. So like at our house, we have a bin of our Mexico work clothes that just gets washed once a year, goes back into the bin, it comes out, and you will see it has many houses worth of paint on them. So work clothes that you definitely can get dirty. Closed-toed shoes for the work site so that your feet are safe, that will also get dirty and muddy and all sorts of things. Clothing for warm, cold, and possibly wet weather. We go late enough here, we haven't had a rain issue, but if it is raining, unless it is pouring rain, and by pouring I mean really pouring, we're going to be working. So we have painted in the rain before. So it's and the rain washed it off. Yeah. Just keep painting. I should tell you, the building codes in Mexico very different than the building codes here, as in there are none. So we're just painting and putting it on. Like I said, it hasn't been a problem, but come prepared for it, and it won't rain. That's my motto. Ponchos or plastic bags, hefty sacks. It's good to have that in case it does rain a little bit. And then you want to have clothing to wear on campus after the workday. The campus is clean, so you don't have to worry about paint there, but just some comfy clothes. And you're going to be having a great time and so moved by everything that you're doing, you won't care what you're wearing. It's so you don't have to dress up for anything or anything like that. In terms of the extras, you will want to bring some cash. And I don't know how much cash to tell you to bring. Anywhere from $50 to $100 to $150. There are people who sell things that right outside the campus that are checked by Yugo. So they're people they work with and have been there at least most of the years I've been there. They sell ponchos, sweatshirts, all sorts of stuff that you can buy with cash, bracelets. The taco stand is cash only, and then you'll get your change in pesos. Then you'll have various pesos and cash to interchange with. Whatever cash you feel like you need to bring. If you're at the border when we're waiting, there's people selling things there. We bought crickets one year that are wonderful, chili crickets that are really good. Yeah, there you go. That face, that makes it worthwhile. So, but all sorts of food, churros and all sorts of things. So if you have a more question about cash, you can ask me afterwards. Any question about what to bring? It's all on your list there and pretty straightforward. Yes?
I don't know if you said this, because I walked outside. If you need food that's specific to someone in your family, there's, it doesn't go in the dorms. It can give us a drawer in the kitchen because the dorms can get ants. But also if you are a driver or you want to contribute some kind of snack for out of the work site, you can also leave like granola bars or whatever, but it can live in the car or in the drawer that they give us.
Yeah.
It's going to be work site snacks that would just leave in the car they bring in overnight all the time. So yeah.
If you have any special dietary restrictions, let me know. And but like if you want to bring gluten-free bread or something like that, or if someone in your family only eats oatmeal for breakfast, there is a drawer in the dining hall that you can put your stuff in, and snacks can stay in the car. So I'm going to go over what to bring for the work site in just a moment, but this is just your general everyday stuff. Okay, let me do the what not to bring. That's just to wet your whistle one more time for tacos. Do not bring firearms or ammunition of any kind. And by that, I mean even a tiny bullet. And so this is the story that I tell every year, but we went one year and one of our travelers had been shooting at a rifle range the week before and had a small box of bullets in one of the compartments in their that big truck with lots of compartments. We got x-rayed. They found those bullets. He had forgotten they were in there. That is a felony crime in Mexico to have ammunition. And he ended up not making it down to the site with us for a couple of days because he was with the police sorting that out. And it's an expensive sort out there. So I just always say that up front, just in case you had been out to the rifle range and had some 22 caliber bullets in you don't want to have this. And someone else said, oh, I just had taken some out of my truck. So no firearms, no ammunition, and you will be fine. All right, the work site, and then we'll wrap up. 5 minutes. The first part of the game is not that exciting anyway, and you got it recorded, right? So, okay, when we get to the work site, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a foundation and a whole pile of wood. And by the end of the trip, it's going to look like that, and it's going to be a whole house. And you may go, I have no idea how we're going to do that. I promise you, every time it gets done, one way or another. And it is a wonderful, transforming thing for us to be able to do. They will provide a construction supervisor with each site, so we will have someone there who's guiding us through. Again, we are building the house they specify. We're not changing the model that they have. Sometimes we go, oh, we got a better way to do this. It helps to keep it uniform for all of them, and they have a method for doing this. Works very well. We will, by the end of the first day, we'll have the framing up. We may have some of the roof up. And the next day, first day you feel like we made a lot of progress. The next day feels real slow because the progress isn't as visible. And then the third day you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that we built a house. And so what's the next slide on there? The hill, okay. Some of the sites, we get to park right next to it. Some of them will be a little far away. This was a house we worked on 2 years ago. That's my truck in the bottom, and we had to walk up that hill to where the house was. So every site is different. Some are on flat land where there's plenty of space. Some are surrounded by mud. It's a wonderful surprise experience for you when you get there. And you'll have a blast. And if there's mud, Nico loves to drive through the mud. And I do too. So, by the end of those 3 days, oh, nope, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. No, that's my list of things. Okay, I'll go this way then. What do you need to bring? They provide all the tools that we need. So technically, you really could show up with no tools and you would be fine. However, it is nice to bring some tools. And you can bring a few things, or you can bring like one of our families. Each person in their family has a tote of tools that come. And they're very well organized, and it makes my little organizing heart very happy when I see that. But what you will need are these things on the work site. A water bottle, for certain. Sunscreen, because we never know what it's going to be like out there. Hand sanitizer is good, just to have your own hand sanitizer out there, especially when we eat lunch. A hat, some good work gloves that you can get at Lowe's, Home Depot. A tool belt. You really only need a simple one that will hold nails, maybe a tape measure and a pencil. You don't need a super big one, although if you like the super big ones, those are fun to have too. But some kind of tool belt you will definitely want. It's nice to have your own hammer. They have plenty of hammers, but if you have a particular hammer you like, or as Alton has found, a titanium hammer. Oh, did you have it up there? He'll bring it down a little later to show you how light this titanium hammer is. If you're not, how many of you are framing houses every day of the week? If you're not, by the end of the first day, you're a little sore. And so the titanium hammer might be a good extra to go with. What else? A tape measure is good to have. Pencils are great to have. A utility knife with a blade is really handy. Wipes are handy on the site, and then any snacks you may want to bring. And anything else that you feel you might need. Yeah, we have, the church has a framing nail gun. You have one now. And Alton or the Bretthauers have one. Alton has a framing gun. So every house will have, and we've divvied it up so every house will have one of those, and that makes it a lot easier as well. I've noticed the last couple years our construction supervisors tend to have a solid collection of battery-operated tools for some of the later tasks. So you really don't need to bring one, but if you prefer or you have special tools you like, I know Bob does our electrical, so you probably bring your electrical stuff. But like I said, if you showed up without tools, you would be fine. They would have plenty for you there. Any questions on that? Bathrooms on the work site. Yes, sometimes.
I don't care.
Always access to a bathroom. Sometimes we have had everything from, on the rare occasion, a flush toilet. Most of the time it's an outhouse on the site, whether a porta potty or a literal outhouse. And then sometimes we've had to drive maybe 5 minutes away to a restroom, or there was a bathroom next door. But there will be a place, a restroom spot for you. So that is always there as well. Just never know. So, and the families tend to work with us. Depends on whether they can get out of their regular jobs or whatnot. They are always so excited about getting a home. You will see this and experience this, and it's a great experience, and it's wonderful to work with them and to make friends with them that we eventually get to go back and revisit. Which, speaking of, this is why we do this. At the end, there will be a home for them, a locking front door, which is a huge thing for where they are for safety. And the inside of the house will look something like this. We bring a bunch of extras, so we'll bring dishes. We purchase a table for them. These are the bunk beds. We get curtains for them to make this as much of a home as possible. We purchase a food basket for them, and that's already all been taken care of. And I will tell you, this is really what makes it all worthwhile. When we give the house to this family, and I don't know if you can see this little boy hugging, I think that's Molly there, isn't it? He is in tears because he is getting this house, and they make friends. And then that's my adult daughter on the left, who's also in tears, but she cries all the time. It's a wonderful, wonderful moment. We have a key ceremony at the end where we pass the key around, and we each get to say something and give them the key to their new home. So this is why we do that. The other nice little thing, sometimes we get fish tacos from the family. The last few years, the family has provided this, and so that is a sampling of the fish tacos that we get. And I made this at home the other day, and they were really good. So doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. That, I think, is everything that I have. So today, before you leave, if I can get your waiver, and you can give that to Nico, that would be great. You have your packing list. If you have questions, I'll stay to answer questions, and then if you need to go, you can go as well. And I'll be sending emails out. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, fuel is easy to purchase down there. I should have said this earlier about cash. Your cards work down there. So, when you go to the gas station, it's just the same as here. And it's pretty close to the... And it's close. Yeah, there's close. They're all right around. So the night before we leave, usually a group of us go out and grab gas. So yes, and we have been to urgent care before. That happens on occasion. I'll be safe. Everyone has always come back with all their fingers, though. So, but there is an urgent care right near the campus. So my wife, for example, the first year we went with this group, a board fell on her hand, and we went there. They X-rayed it. And wrapped it up and did what they needed to do. I think it cost $40 or $30, and then they were running out after we left, and they were very apologetic because they didn't charge us for the x-ray, which was an extra $10. So medical care is there. Pam, I'm going to out you as an ER doctor. So we can't have her at all three sites, but she's there. Any other medical professionals? Oh, yes, Lindsay is a nurse. Yes, correct. And Nico has a first responder kit, so he does Band-Aids really well. So... Let your bank know that you'll be using it out in the country. Most cell phones work there as well. So, I check with your plan to see if you have a international plan, but usually Baja California is covered in that. My phone works fine. GPS generally works pretty well. And if you forget anything, there's a Walmart, a Home Depot, there's a drugstore like a Walgreens. We're not out in the outskirts of civilization. We're in the heart of it, and you're able to get what you need. So you will be fine. Yeah. Other questions? Okay. Well, thank you all again for being part of us. Thanks for watching at home. And I'm excited. This is going to be a great trip. And if you have your form, give it to Nico. And if you have other questions,